let's dive right into the third-party embeds and additional blocks that you can use inside of Notion. So the first one isn't actually a third-party block, but it still is a tool or like a link to a third party. So if you want to add links inside of Notion, you can obviously just add the normal default link. So right here, I'm on the Notion block, and I actually have to collapse this because we need the URL. So if I just want to paste that URL into my Notion workspace, I could totally do that, right? I can just add the URL right here, but it just doesn't look too nice. So there are different ways to do this, and this is not the nicest way. What we can also do is we can add a web bookmark, which will actually allow us to paste the link in this link box, and then we can create a bookmark. And what this actually does is it basically pulls some information from the page that we're linking to and shows us this interactive kind of highlight of the page. So we actually know what the page is about. We see this little thumbnail, we see the title, we see a bit of the description. And so we know what this page actually is and where we actually go to once we click on it. And again, if I click on this now, we will actually be taken to that page. So it works just like a normal link as well. Now let's get started with the actual embeds. And the first one would be Google Drive, because that is like one of the most common things you might want to embed inside of Notion. So this allows you to just embed files inside of Notion. And the great thing is that you don't need to actually upload them to Notion, because they will just be referenced from Notion and they will still be inside of your Google Drive account. Now, if you don't have your account connected already, you will have to connect your account to Notion in order for this to work. But if you have it, then you can just choose the account that you want to use for this demo. And I will just add one of these random backup files that I have in my Google Drive. So if I do that, you'll see how this will actually appear right inside of my Notion workspace. And if I click on this, I will be taken to Google Drive where that file is located. And I can actually see that file. So you could use that to link to a Google Sheet or like a Google Doc if you're still using that, which you shouldn't if you're using Notion. But yeah, great tool and a great feature that you will probably use often, especially if you collaborate with teams and you're using Google Drive. Next, we have Google Maps, which you can also easily embed inside of Notion. So you can just type maps and then click on the block. And for this, I have the Golden Gate Bridge opened here in Google. Don't worry, the text might be in German because that's my native language. And so I have some of the browser settings set to German. But nevertheless, you can just get the link, like the sharing link for this monument, and then paste that back into your Notion account like that. And once you do that, you will actually be able to embed the complete map inside of your Notion account. And the great thing is that this is actually interactive. So I can actually, if I press Control and then use my mouse wheel, I can actually zoom in and out. You can also scroll around. So this is fully interactive, just like it would be on Google Maps itself. And if you want to view it on the actual map, you could just click that View Larger Map button. There are lots of additional tools that you can directly embed inside of Notion, but we're not going to go through all of them in this video because it would just be way too much. There are dozens of tools again. Some of the most powerful that I think you might want to know about, especially if you are in specific industries, are Loom, which is a great way to embed videos and to share feedback directly inside of Notion. You can also embed collaboration tools like Miro and Whimsical to do collaborative brainstorming inside of Notion and to share your thoughts with your colleagues. And also for different industries, like for engineers, for software engineers, there are a couple of different tools like GitHub Gists or CodePens that you can embed. And designers have a whole host of different choices from Figma, Sketch, Framer, and all these other different design tools that you can directly embed inside of Notion to share designs and to collaborate on them inside this all-in-one software.